Hey guys, Boy here, and this is the difference between an Ancient 1 player and the ESL winner Secret.Nisha. Making these types of videos is hard. First of all, obviously Nisha is a better player, but Dota has 100 heroes, and what if Nisha is against a terrible lane matchup and the Ancient 1 player is not? What if Nisha gets a tri-lane against a solo hero and the Ancient 1 gets the worst lane of all time? With that in mind, this is my first attempt at comparing things that are not exactly hero related, but sometimes that's impossible, or item timing related, and in my opinion, this showcases whether a player is good or not better than stats like CS at 10 minutes, Battlefield timings, and whatnot. Also, if you want to be featured here, make sure to join our Discord channel or follow me on Twitter. I usually will ask in social media for replays on whatever hero I want. You can check that the Ancient 1 player at the start clicks a location and doesn't do anything. He then AFKs for almost 30 seconds and never checks his allies' items. Nisha, on the other hand, does just that, which allows him to check the lanes, see what you expect out of his allies. The Ancient 1 player also learns Blade Fury, and for a purpose. He wanted to contest the bounty rune, but as you can see, the Centaur didn't even attempt the Jehu Stomp, and usually the better play is to learn the spell as you need it. Not only that, they lose the other bounty, which makes learning Blade Fury useless, while instead of chasing the Rubik via this path, since he's super slow, he just goes from this angle and they don't get anything. To the untrained eye, nothing awful happened, but being at Nisha's level is not about not being awful, but being the greatest. During the rune contest for Nisha, he realizes the Radiant wants to contest the rune, and instead of trying to fight like the Ancient player, he goes towards the other bounty. Crystal Maiden doesn't have that much lockdown, and Earth Spirit and Slaughter are bulky 600 plus HP heroes. Even if you get a full damage Blade Fury, that's 340 damage after reductions, it's just unreasonable to think that he could kill anyone there. If we follow the Ancient 1 player, you can see he never selects a thing. He doesn't click on creeps, on allied heroes, or enemies. Let's compare that to Nisha in the laning stage. Not only he checks the Slaughter to see his initial items, after that he constantly checks his inventory. What this allows him to do is, right from the get-go, realize that he has Bash of the Deep learned, and also plan ahead of time when he should draw aggro away from him. The way Slaughters win their lanes is by constantly using that Bash, but Slaughter doesn't want to lose CS, so as long as Nisha can draw aggro appropriately when he's close to that 4th attack, he can force Slaughter to go for CS instead of hitting him. Not only that, they get a kill just by abusing that Bash count. Note that Slaughter gets a Bash here, and Nisha was rightfully pretty far away from him. He disengaged it on purpose to avoid that. But as soon as the attack happens, you can see the changing stance. He uses the fact that this range creep will die, and instead of fighting for it, he starts right-clicking the hero. He even body blocks him to get the kill, just perfect. Another mistake that I can recognize is the Wraith Band purchase that he goes for. In general, Wraith Band is not a priority anymore. For Juggernaut, that's even more pronounced since Boots gives you kill potential, especially when you're against melee heroes. While he gets a kill on the Rubik without Boots, you can see that the Wraith Band he bought is in the courier, bottom, and it takes ages to reach him, whereas Boots or Stick are items that you can benefit immediately. You might not believe me, so look at these 7 very high MMR Juggernauts, all going for either Stick or Boots. Just because Wraith Bands are worse, they are more expensive, and the courier is not usually a priority to the safe lane hero in the first place. Another thing we can mention is creep equilibrium. Having good creep equilibrium means less harass, more kill potential, more farm. And let's focus on where the lane is when the Ancient 1 Jugger plays. The lane starts already more far forward than normal, and that's actually Dazzle's fault. But even then, he just leaves this creep here when he could have easily drawn aggro to fix that. Later on, when he sees that the Dazzle pulled, instead of tanking the creeps, he allows them to be under tower, not only jeopardizing his farm, but also pushing the lane back once again. Yes, he found a kill, but the end result is that this was very poorly executed by both sides. He pushed the lane even harder because he used the Blade Fury there. If we watch Nisha playing, we see the complete opposite. Not only Nisha never allows the lane to push, when the enemy tries to disrupt the lane, he also goes for the right play. For instance, when this offlane pull happens, notice how he barely touches the creeps. If he did that, those creeps would be super close to the enemy tier 1 tower. When the next creep wave comes, he has flawless position while having one less creep than Radiant, meaning he will maintain the wave there. Not only that, he can actually try and get a kill on this Lardor now. See how he waited for even more Radiant creeps to accumulate here? Sometimes when you dive someone as a Jug, you clean the wave because of Blade Fury, and while you get the kill, the offlaner will TP back with creeps in his tower. Not only he made sure to have extra ones in case he killed someone, but he's super careful with how he Blade Furies, damaging almost no creeps, drawing very little aggro, and killing Lardor, whereas when the Ancient One Jug goes for the kill, it was complete chaos, no finesse, and a shit ton of damage being done to the creeps with the wave pushing. Again on the subject of Blade Fury, look how the early boots into phase allows Nisha to completely take Lardor out of the lane as soon as he comes back from that death, whilst maintaining perfect creep equilibrium. The Ancient One Jug is also against a melee offlaner, and those Wraith Bands don't really give him much in that regard. The only time Nisha aggressively kills creeps with Blade Fury is when the catapult arrives, not only forcing a cell from this Lardor, but already prepping ground for a lot of tower damage. That's not even close to what happens to the Ancient One Jug. He starts pushing the lane, and instead of forcing the center away with a Blade Fury knowing the Dazzle is here, he actually tries to deny some creeps. At the end of the day, he doesn't understand the power that Blade Fury would have there, zoning Centaur and clearing the way for max tower damage. The end result is about 5% tower damage until he's forced to disengage. For Nisha, things are very different. He understands the power of the early glyph, and by doing that and also using Blade Fury aggressively as soon as the creep wave comes, so Lardor cannot draw aggro. You can see that since Nisha is better mechanically, he also got more denies, and he gets level 6 at the perfect timing, and this power spike completely changes things. Nisha keeps on repeating what he did, since this Lardor has very few ways to deal with this level 6 Jug. Even with the bash into Slither Crush and a TP from the Earth Spirit, Nisha gets the kill, he gets the tower, and he lives. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I know that this video is short, but making something like this takes a long time, and this is a sort of a tryout to see how the video is received. Manually checking hero clicks and stuff is super hard, so if you're a programmer that understands Dota API, send me a message on Twitter, because I feel like there's tons of ways of increasing the speed and, I guess, the quality that the research for this video is going to be done. As of always, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you care about my Patreon, there are some cool rewards there that you can get to make this channel more viable to me. As you know, I'm casting, and almost every time for free. My revenue is already way lower than it used to be, so any help towards my rent is greatly appreciated. You can check my Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Discord channel in the description below. Thank you and have a good one.